What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are back for the highly anticipated Survive series. If you're new to this concept, this is where we go into the online realm of F1 2019. We get a bunch of you guys together, we turn off all of the assists, we make the ghosting off so that there's no way that you can avoid someone stranded off to the side. We put simulation damage on, and it just results in utter carnage at each racetrack we go to. So we're back once again for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We're going to get right into it. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram or whatever to get involved in these lobbies. And let's get going with Survive Brazil.
There are a lot of cars on track today. Hard braking into the first corner, hard on the brakes.
Mate, I am going to be going so slow into turn 1 that I don't even think I'll be requiring the brakes. Such is the lack of velocity that I'll be carrying into turn 1, but here we go. For the Brazilian Grand Prix, we've got some rain to contend with as well. 5 red lights, and away we do not go. For the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I've got to say, that's even a good start. Given that we took a second to get away, and even still, we went away pretty slowly. It looks like, oh no! We're fine. Okay, we've lost a bit of front wing. We're still in the race. Thankfully, the car has managed to survive that impact. That's what we're all about here. Just staying alive. Staying alive. Yep. Let's not say that anymore because I'll get copyrighted. That was I wasn't planning to say that, but that just kind of happened. Away we go for the restart, or the replay, shall I say? I just want to have a look at what actually happened on the run into turn 1, because all of a sudden we got blown up out of nowhere. A Toro Rosso is gone, and then we just get thrown into the wall by one of the Renaults, I think. So you'll have to look to your left-hand side of the screen. It's nearly 3 wide, right at the back there. Toro Rosso moves over onto the Renault's line, and then the Renault. It's not his fault, really. It was all the Toro Rosso that caused that, and we just got thrown into the wall and lost our front wing. So very, very unfortunate. At first, when I saw that, I just thought someone lost the back end into me. But yeah, just completely unavoidable on my part, because that kind of happened really out of my line of sight. As we can see, a very battered Alfa Romeo in our line of sight, and we now move our way up into P8. I think we started from like last or near last, so we've managed to halve our grid position. My teammate is not having a happy day as he makes some, I'd say, sandcastles, but there's no gravel trap out there. He'll be enjoying the rest of the afternoon in the grass, digging himself out. So will that Ferrari. He'll be digging himself out of that barrier, which he's just launched himself into. It's P6 in this Brazilian Grand Prix. It's been an amazing start, but I have to think about whether I actually want to come into the pit lane and change my front wing. It is red, so it makes negotiating these high speed, not even real corners, like the back straight, it's a curve. It's not a proper corner, but without the front wing, I just don't have the downforce to go through there flat out in the rain, which is really unfortunate. We're down to 11 runners. We started off with 19 or 20, and we've lost effectively half the grid in just one lap here as we change the front wing. We've got a Williams in as well. This is really going to set us back, but with everyone who is, I don't know, struggling with no assists, they might be carrying damage, those further up the field. Hopefully we'll be able to still make our mark in this Grand Prix and maybe even come away with a top 5. A podium would be amazing. Hell, even if I could get the win, that would be nothing short of legendary, I think. And this place is full of legendary moments in history. Let's hope to create another one in the gaming world today. Let's see. Anyway, P8, and we're kind of in a league of our own at this stage. Literally half a lap to the next car ahead, which is a racing point. We'll be, I don't know, we'll have our work cut out for us to try and catch up to them, but we'll do our absolute best if we can. I do feel like we are the fastest car on circuit. We'll be able to confirm that as we cross the line now for our first representative time. It's a 1:18.7. I think the next fastest guys are in the 19s, I think. So, yeah, we have the pace. We just don't have enough time, enough laps to do anything about our race here. We can see there's a Ferrari in the pit lane. That promotes us up into P7. Another fastest up at the Grand Prix. But, yeah, that's just the problem, isn't it? With a 5-lap race, if you make a pit stop, you're going to be absolutely nowhere. And so that was our race, really. We end up with just about 10 people surviving Brazil in the rain P7, 6 points. Not too bad when you consider that we had a horrific start to the race. But there you go. Like, the majority of people were lost in the first lap. After that, I think we only lost one other car after lap 1. So, just surviving the carnage of the start is key to these races. But I'm going to have another go at this. I'm going to make it dry and see if I can catch a few people out that way.
We're looking forward to seeing what you can do in today's race. Good luck.
The reason why I made it dry is because I feel like this will give people a false sense of security. It might, you know, say, oh, yeah, we've got dry tyres on now, so we can push that little bit harder. But in actual fact, this is where the majority might all die off the start. So here we go, away we go. For Survive Brazil, take 2. You can see there's a much bigger collision before we even get to the braking zone of turn 1. We're down to 18 runners already, and McLaren was sideways. We actually managed to keep our front wing intact, which is nice to see. Simulation damage is no joke on F1 2019, the slightest little touch, and you are out of the race, essentially.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Case in point right there. Right. Let's see if we can get this done. Third time lucky. For Survive Brazil, I had a crap race first time out. Second race, don't even need to explain it. This time, we are going to avoid all of the drama, and we will win the Brazilian Grand Prix in style. Hell, let's see if we can win it by being the only man standing at the end of these 5 laps. Away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Nice and conservative off the start. People are losing it big time here as we basically have to avoid the mobile chicane on the run into turn 1. The chicane is the new turn 1, basically, when you take all of people's assists away. P8, already down to 12 runners. This is already a much better start to proceedings than what the last attempt was, and by all things considered, we still have our front wing intact as we dodge another couple of cars. That's a big moment there as we get caught up on the curb trying to affect that double overtake. I was trying to leave as much space as possible to those on the outside. The Ferrari's blown up on the infield. There was a Haas, I think, or someone who went off on the outside part of the circuit. We're now on the podium. Make that P2 as we storm into the lead positions of the Grand Prix, going defensive into this next right-hander. Yeah, it's just been an amazing start. For this one, I've done something that I actually haven't ever done before. It's I actually left automatic gearbox on for anyone who is wanting to leave that on. So I think what has actually happened is it's allowed people to shift up into second and third and fourth gear without realizing what's going on. And so that's meant that more people have actually spun out due to lack of traction, whereas other people in the past might just get stuck in first and second gear and not actually spin out. So I think that little formula has made life very, very difficult for those starting the Grand Prix. You can see it's already had an adverse effect on the amount of runners left in this race. We're down to 9. People are parked off to the side everywhere, which you need to avoid as well, because I've turned off ghosting. It means that people who are lapped now, you can actually still crash into them, which was a recent update that Codemasters did to prevent lap cars from taking people out. Now that I've turned ghosting back off, you have to avoid them again, which is interesting. But anyway, we stormed into the lead of the Grand Prix. We caught up to Silver Arrows at a vast rate of knots, but by some elements of, I don't know, script from the higher-ups, you can see I'm now having some major FPS issues. It's a bit like a slideshow at this point. It recovered a little bit on this start-finish straight, and that means we have another go at Silver Arrow into turn 1. We get the lead back. But as soon as I get into the lead once again, you might notice that the FPS drops start to happen again. And I don't know why this happens. It only happens online, so I have to kind of attribute it to that, or the fact that maybe people are constantly joining and leaving, and then it just gets worse and worse to the point where it's actually unraceable. You'll see now it actually gets really bad. We lose like 2 or 3 seconds, 5 seconds now. We're not even moving. So like when these stutters are happening, I'm not really moving on circuit, whereas everyone else is. And so I'm just being held back massively. I was leading this race. Now I'm in P3. My PC is just turned into a potato. And we're just We can't catch a break, it seems, in Survive Brazil. If you guys know what is causing this doesn't happen all the time. And when I have my task manager open, my PC isn't being stressed. It's nothing is above 20% on the graphics card, CPU, memory. It's all fine. I don't know if it's just this game being this game, but it has resulted in us ending up in P5. We've DNF'd. We haven't even survived Brazil. I think after that performance, we probably don't even deserve to survive Brazil. Some upper influence has held back my PC. It's like you're driving along and then someone just picks up the car off the ground. Your wheels are spinning, but you're not going anywhere. That's what that race felt like. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more suffering and anguish from me. And I'll see you guys for a brand new video very soon.